What's up everybody, I'm Sean and I am the best web developer in this video. And I know I say that every time, but it's always true because I'm always the only one in the video. This is the 7th video in a series on how to build a website with your own custom code, not using WordPress or another content management system. And this video is an exciting one. It's on responsive design. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. This series is for serious coders, not for WordPress warriors or for drag and droppers. If you're a beginner web developer, that's fine, but you just have to know that you want to be a serious coder and build websites with your own custom code. And if you missed the first 6 videos, that's okay. Go check them out. They're all on the channel. So responsive design. Responsive design is such a hugely important topic because I know that a huge percentage of the users of your future websites are going to be accessing them via mobile devices and tablets and all sorts of stuff. Responsive design is about making your website look good on all types of devices and screen sizes, or at least as many as you can. And naturally, the content on your website isn't always going to be displayed the same on all types of devices because those devices come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. You've got mobile phones, iPads, tablets, laptops, desktop PCs, everything. Now, a great example of a website element that's typically different on small screens versus large screens is a navigation menu. You know, for example, when you go to a website via a laptop or a desktop PC and you see the navigation menu, typically it's displayed in the form of written content on the top of the web page. But if you go to it on a mobile phone, typically they have what's known as a hamburger menu. And of course, the reason it looks different on those two types of devices is because the developer who made the website set it up that way. As a developer, you have to take into account all these different types of screen sizes when building your web pages. And while it might seem like a daunting task, I know that you can do it because you, my friend, are a tech genius and you just don't know it yet. The smallest device size that you have to factor in right now based on the width of the screen in pixels is the iPhone 5 at 320 pixels. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you got these ginormous PC and desktop screens that go up to 1920 pixels and beyond. The nice thing is, in modern web development, we've got tools that make it easy for us to see what our website is going to look like on different screen sizes and different devices while we're testing it out and building it. You guys remember in the 3rd episode, if you watched, where I talked about Chrome developer tools? If you see that area up on the left that says responsive, you can actually set that to a specific type of device or a custom number of pixels to test it out and see what your web page is going to look like on that type of screen. And as I mentioned before, almost all browsers have their own form of developer tools. I recommend that you use Google Chrome, but either way, there's lots of different tools that you can use to figure this out. Now the question is, how do you, my oh so tech savvy friend, change the way your content is displayed depending on the device size or type? Well, there are a number of different ways you can do it. One way, and it's not necessarily the best way, because I know a lot of experienced developers who are watching this video are going to say, well, that's a bad way to do it, blah, 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 blah. I know, but all these ways have their benefits and drawbacks. One way is through Bootstrap. I've mentioned this in previous videos. Bootstrap is a CSS library that simplifies responsive design. Click the link down below if you're interested. What Bootstrap does for responsive design is it gives you breakpoints. And these 5 breakpoints set the difference between 5 different types of screen sizes: extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. And then it makes it easy because even if you're not a CSS genius yet, you can say, okay, this is how I want it to look on extra small, this is how I want it on small, this is how I want it medium, this is how I want it large, extra large, etc., boom, done. So if you want to learn responsive design quickly and easily, Bootstrap is pretty easy to learn. Now, a lot of experienced developers will recommend that you don't use Bootstrap because it can slow down your site's performance and just because it's not necessarily the best thing out there and there are a lot of other ways to do it. You don't need Bootstrap. A lot of front-end developers and designers are going to recommend that you learn CSS Grid or Flexbox instead. CSS Grid gives you a grid-based display similar to Bootstrap with rows and columns, but it's often more flexible than Bootstrap and you can write cleaner HTML with it. Flexbox, on the other hand, is a one-dimensional layout model that allows you to align and distribute content within a container. Google all 3 of these if you want more information on them. They all have their different pros and cons, and they all have their different browser support, which you need to check. And this is another huge thing you need to take into consideration with responsive design, is browser support. Some older browsers just don't support newer technologies, so you always have to check that. And the last thing I want to mention are CSS media queries. Media queries are a way for you to set a breakpoint, or various breakpoints, at which you want your content to display differently depending on the size or the pixelage, if you will, of the breakpoint. And the great thing about media queries is you can get very specific down to the pixel, as opposed to just Bootstrap, for example, which only gives you 5 different device sizes that you could choose from. And guys, I mentioned before that these videos are not full tutorials. If you want to go in depth with this stuff, I've got 2 links below. One is on a short responsive design course, and the second is on a full web design specialization if you want to invest a little bit more time into this. And one huge overarching piece of advice I want to give you guys for responsive design is to check your web pages as thoroughly as possible on different browsers, device types, screen sizes, etc. And sadly, even as great as Chrome developer tools and modern browser developer tools are, sometimes they're just not enough to actually test out and figure out what exactly your website is going to look like on different mobile devices and in different browsers. And that's why sometimes, if you really want to test things thoroughly, you actually need to put a test page live up on your website. Don't publish it yet, but put some sort of live test page up within your cPanel, in your file manager. If you're not familiar with doing that, check out videos 2 and 3, because sometimes seeing a live page up on the actual internet and then accessing it via a mobile device is the only way that you're going to see, oh, that didn't look exactly the way I thought it was going to when I was testing it out with Chrome developer tools, etc., etc. Download different browsers on your mobile device. See what it looks like in Firefox, Safari, Chrome, whatever else is available. Same thing goes for your PC, whatever you're coding on. Download different browsers. If you've got Microsoft operating system, you can do Edge, Internet Explorer. Check it out on Chrome, Firefox, whatever else is available. Test it out in different browsers to make sure that it looks good on as many screen sizes, browsers, devices as possible before you go public with it. The bottom line, be very, very thorough in your testing with responsive design. All right, my web developer genius friends, that's all I got for you guys for this video. Drop one of these if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below if you feel there's anything I missed. If you have a question about responsive design, hit that subscribe button down below to get notified of when the next video comes out next week on user experience. And hit that link down below to tomorrows-campus.com. We've got a database of over 1,000 web development courses on all subjects, mobile apps, responsive design, of course, developer tools, artificial intelligence, machine learning, everything, you name it. Check it out down below, tomorrows-campus.com, and I'll see you guys next week. Until then, keep saving the world with the amazing code that you write.